There is currently within our country just a terrific debate over racism and where it exists and where it might be found. And we all, I think, can easily agree that there is racism on an individual basis. We could have heard or bumped into that person is saying something racist, or there is a racist. But is there racism on a corporate level? Or in other words, in a structural way? Now, there's where you get into it. To be able to say that this organization is racist, or this societal structure is racist, there we move into a very, very difficult area. And in my homily today, I'm not going to get into what I think would be a racist organization or not, but I do want us to begin to consider this question. Is there, and not just racism, but if I can take it onto a larger level, is there evil, not just on an individual basis, but is there evil present within society on a societal level? And the answer to those questions is yes, of course there is. Because original sin has led to a humanity that has been broken. And through humanity's brokenness, evil can enter into the world. And we've seen it. We see it within ourselves. The individual sins that we commit, every Catholic church comes equipped with confessionals. We know, we sin, we have done evil. And is there evil on a corporate level? On institutional level? Of course there is. We can look back through history and easily see examples of it. We see slavery, corporate evil. We see Nazi Germany and the annihilation of the Jews, obvious corporate sin. What happened in Cambodia, when the killing fields, all of those examples of institutionalized evil happening on an individual and corporate level. Now, it's easier for us to look back through history and see it. It's very hard in the present moment to be able to see where it might lie. But we must discover, find, point out evil, both individually and on a societal basis. How do we confront evil? That's the questions that the readings pose to us today. And they offer us three ways to confront evil: Ezekiel, Jesus, and St. Paul. Ezekiel's way, the prophet's way. That's in one way, the easiest of all, because it's so simple, it's so clean and pure. Ezekiel sees himself and says, I am the watchman over the house of Israel, and I must point out evil. And that's what prophets do. They point out evil. And a prophet doesn't care what you think about him. Prophet doesn't care if you happen to like what he has to say or not. A prophet has a responsibility given him by God to signal that is evil, or you are doing something evil. And as you can imagine, no wonder they tried to kill all the prophets. They hated Jeremiah and Ezekiel. And poor Elijah had to run for his life and hide out in a cave in the desert. And Isaiah, could you imagine being the king and having Isaiah say to you, you know, these alliances you're doing, they're all wrong, they're evil. And you, what you're doing, it's evil, it's wrong. Who wants to hear that? Nobody likes to hear a prophet. Nobody. And our church, and we members of it, we are a prophet. Every single one of us. When we began that struggle against original sin, we were baptized, and the priest or the deacon anointed us and said, you are a priest, you are a king, and you are a prophet. And we had that same responsibility that Ezekiel realized, that I have been given the responsibility by God to try to lead the wicked out of their sinfulness by proclaiming something to be evil. And our church does that too. And so our church will declare evil to exist and point out what is wrong, both on the individual basis, we know that, but also on the corporate basis. And when our church does that, nobody wants to hear it. And to use two simple examples, we condemn societal evil of abortion. We see it as wrong. We condemn the societal evil of the death penalty. We declare it to be evil, to be wrong. And when we take those kinds of stances, people hate us. And they see us as, oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's right at all. I think it's a woman's right. Death penalty. What does the church know? A bunch of old men running around in robes. What do they know about life? And we can be so easily dismissed. Nevertheless, we have that responsibility to confront evil, as did Ezekiel. And how did Jesus recommend that we confront evil? Well, he recommended an even harder way. It's so typical of Jesus. And he said, if your brother sins against you, go talk to him. Maybe you can solve it. If he doesn't, bring someone with you, the 2 or 3 of you, talk to him. And if that doesn't work, talk to the church. Now, that sounds simple, doesn't it? It's not. It's terribly difficult, the path he's recommending. Because if I had 2 brothers and they got into a fight with each other and one really hurt the other one, and the hurt brother came to me and told me about it, what would I say? Well, I'd say, well, have you talked to him? Go talk to him. Maybe he didn't know what he was doing. Maybe he didn't realize he hurt you. I mean, all of us do that, don't we? We make mistakes and we don't even know it. We're driving and somebody starts honking at us and shaking their fist at us, and we think, what's up with that guy? Maybe what did I do? Right, so go talk to him, see how it works out, And then the brother comes back and says, it didn't go well at all. In fact, he was even angrier with me, saying, it's my problem, not his problem. Will you come with me and talk to him? And yikes. I don't know if I want to go and get into this. But let's say we both go, and it just gets worse. Now what are we going to do? A family intervention? Oh, my God, that could really get it going. But when evil reveals itself, shows itself, Jesus is saying we have to confront it. And we confront it as a brother would to a brother, or as brothers would to a brother, or as a family would to a brother. And in a way, we've all had that experience. We've all had that kind of inappropriate, if not kind of kooky uncle who at family gatherings tells racist jokes or sexist jokes, and he thinks they're hilarious, and they're embarrassing, and they're in front of the kids. And somebody might say to him, Uncle, let's lay off those jokes, okay? The kids are here. And we can hear back, oh, quit being so politically correct, it's just a joke. Come on, get off it. And then if others in the family say, it's not just a joke, it's offensive. We ask you not to do that. Oh, fine, we have the cancel culture right here in our own family. Is that, oh, God. And then the whole family, it runs the risk of really alienating that guy, that uncle. But we have to. We all know in the family sometimes evil exists, where somebody's alcoholism is destroying the family. Somebody's violence is destroying the family. Somebody's anger is destroying the family. And we have to confront that evil. And it is so risky. How do we do it? Well, St. Paul to the rescue. In the second reading, St. Paul tells us how to confront evil. And he says, the commandments, that is, that where we find evil, thou shalt not commit adultery, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and whatever other commandment there may be, are summed up in this saying, namely, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no evil to the neighbor. Right. That is how we confront evil. We confront evil with love. We do not fight fire with fire. We do not take an eye for an eye. We do not commit evil to stop evil, because to take up the weapons of the evil we oppose is to become the evil that we oppose. And so we must oppose evil with love. And if we can't do it with love, well, then we should just pipe down. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had to confront that uncle who is so inappropriate, or that brother who is so hurtful, but we do it with love? They might not like what they have to hear, but if they're hearing it with love, and they know that it's being done out of love, well, then maybe it can get into their heart. And maybe they can turn toward the good. And as a church, when we see evil out there into this world, if we confront that evil with love, maybe people will listen to us. Maybe they will turn toward the good. Now here's a crazy dream of mine. All the protesting going on right now in the streets with Black Lives Matter and the other guys who are, I don't know what they're doing, they're protecting with guns, the properties and stuff like that, and all that going on. Could you imagine if everything is organized around love, and all those protests, at the heart of everyone, and everyone is saying to everyone there, now whatever we do out of love. Well, there wouldn't be any guns, that's for sure. People wouldn't be throwing bricks and rocks at each other and bottles and fireworks. That wouldn't be happening. There wouldn't be swinging billy clubs. None of that would be happening, because everybody would be doing whatever they're doing out of love. Isn't that a crazy dream? Well, it's not my dream. That's Jesus' dream. He dreamed it in the Garden of Gethsemane when he stopped Peter from swinging the sword and said, no, put that away. That's not the way to confront evil. So, how do we confront evil? Well, we are the watchmen, given the responsibility by God as individuals and as a church to watch over our people, our city, our country, and to watch over it because we love it. We are the watchmen who, when we see danger coming, we must call out to our family, to our city, to our country, evil is coming, because we want to protect them, and because we want to lead the wicked to goodness. How do we confront evil? We are watchmen who love.